morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Y'all are going to have to excuse my voice. It's been going in and out ever since yesterday, but trying to recover. I'm still coming down off the high of the summit. Y'all tell me in the chat, who was all there? Who was all at the summit? I see so many familiar faces, but put a 5 in the chat if you guys were there. If you're still feeling that energy of such amazing people and speakers and even the attendees that were there, that's how we all feel right now. We're all still feeling all of the energy, all of the craziness and the information poured into us, guys. Love to see it. Jasmine, Jill, Sherry, I love it. David, Rosario, it was so amazing seeing so many of you. A lot of people, that was the first time I was ever able to meet you face to face and give y'all a hug. So thank you so much for being there and just pouring into myself and so many others around you guys. It was just an amazing experience, just an amazing experience. And I also want to say thank you so much for all the love that you guys all gave. It was a feeling that I'll never forget in my heart. So thank you for that. And I want to talk today. We just kind of want to recap. That's kind of what we've been doing the last couple of days, recapping about what you guys took away, some of the biggest things that you want to start implementing that you guys learned about. So can I get a couple people to come off of mute and talk to me about one of their biggest takeaways and how they're going to implement that? I'd like to get at least 3 people to come off of mute if we can. Who's going to be first? Don't make me pick on y'all.
Go first, Justine.
All right, Sherry, good morning.
Good morning.
Butt off. Thank you so much for all that you did to help out. I know it's a lot of work.
Yeah, no worries. Look, to God be the glory. It's a pleasure to help Brock and any of you all that needed anything. It's such a powerful meeting. But what I took, the biggest thing I took home was just listening to each and every one of the speakers talk about how important it is for you to structure your day.
Yes.
And I've been trying to think yesterday coming home, how can I make that fun for me? Because that's been the hardest part for me, is to get a daily schedule
Routine.
down. Right. I was in the airline industry for a long time, and that schedule was never the same. So that's truly what I became accustomed to, is just having a schedule all over the place. So I just thought yesterday, I can make it fun for me if I will remember to include me.
Yep.
Putting in some self-care, even if it's just a 10 to 15 minute walk to get outside, just to whatever it is, including, a monthly massage. Again, I used to do that years ago, and it makes such a difference for me just to take care of me. So that was my big takeaway, was like, okay, I really have got, because Brock has been pushing me to, do the things with the calendar and the schedule and the writing it down. I'm like, Brock, I'm writing down the same flipping things every day. And he goes, exactly. Yep. Ingrain it and get your schedule, get your structure, and go after it. So that was me.
Sherry, I am there with you. Brock has told me that for the past year. My calendar should be scheduled out from the time that I wake up to the time that I work out to the time I shower. I've got my kids' times on the bus, when they get on the bus in the morning to when they get off in the afternoon, and everything in between. But I'm right there with you. It's a pain point for me, and it is a growing pain that I'm learning to have to deal with. I'm not great at it, and I'm great with people. That's my jam. But technology and getting everything scheduled out, it's hard. It's not easy to do, but you feel so much better when you plan a little bit ahead, and it takes a lot of the anxiety down when you're not just flying off the seat of your pants, which I feel like last year, that's all I did, is I was living my life hour by hour. And so my husband and I were talking last night about, how we want this year to be structured. I had so much growth in my business and in my life last year, which was absolutely amazing. But how do I scale that back to be able to start enjoying me and the fruits of my labor, right? Just like you were saying with those monthly massages, pouring into yourself. I look back at at everything that I did last year, and I haven't celebrated really one time. And that's so important to be able to do. So yeah, we're getting that vacation in. You know what? I used to travel a lot, and I haven't done that for myself. The last time I truly went on a vacation that was purely for me and my dream was my 30th birthday. I'm 37, y'all. I'm 37. So that's been 7 years that I haven't poured into myself. So yeah, I'm doing it. So Sherry, kudos to you. Thank you for sharing that with us. But I'm right there with you. So we'll work on that together. We'll work on that together. All right. Can I get a couple more people to come off of mute and share?
I'll share. Justine.
Rosario, thank you. Good morning, babe.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm still at home.
Good. Me
So
too.
I wanted to share the face decoding. That was like a whole experience. So I asked myself, what am I doing? Right. And so, because most of the times we get caught up on, I'm doing it like a certain way, and it makes you lose yourself, like in the authentic part. So you just
Right.
want to be yourself when you're having these conversations with people, and have the confidence that gives that person like clarity, right? Because that way you can be confident in your conversations, so that you can continue building the relationships. Because I was asking myself, Justin, like how am I getting so many referrals? How do I do all these connections everywhere in the US? And it's because of that. Like, I'm just being myself. And just
That's
by
right.
being myself, it's like confidence that comes across a certain way. And Miss Rebecca was one person that I had a conversation with. Confidence is just like, what does it mean to you? Like, it's so simple. We just complicate it so much. So that was my biggest takeaway. Like, just be you, be yourself, don't overthink, because that's what we usually do. So, and
It's
just
all here. It's all here.
huh?
This is what holds us back. This is what
Yes,
holds us back is ourselves and our mindset. So it's so
right.
true.
Yeah, so just be you. Keep doing what you're doing. Make those connections. Don't be scared to have a conversation. I did have a quite a bit of conversations, and everybody's amazing. It's like I share with someone, you have a gift. Have the courage to explore it, to grow it, and just get yourself out there. So that's what I got out of it. So thank you so much, you guys. I love y'all. I would do it all over again.
Yes, we hope to see you in New Orleans, right? Yes, I'm so excited for that. And Rosario, you're such a light. You always have a smile on your face. You've been through so much, and for you to still be able to make these shows and come on and pour into yourself and your business, that is what shines through, is that connection with the people and your mindset of always being positive. You've been through a lot personally, and I don't even know the full depths of it, but just what you have shared, I know that you have pushed through so much in the last few months. So kudos to you for doing that, keeping that positive mindset, because it's so important. This will get the best of us each and every time. And I've been right there with you. So kudos to you. Brian was probably one of my favorite speakers too, because I love to learn that tactical information. And I feel like one of my superpowers is the connection with people. So to be able to read somebody before they even say a word, man, I feel like I'll be the sharpest person in the room, right? So love it, love it.
Love you.
Well, one other person to share.
I'll share.
All right, Dee. Yes, girl, let's hear it.
So what I really, really, really realized, and actually both my girls did as well, is that we've been playing small in life.
Yeah.
And I've been playing small in my business. I fell into like, oh, I've got to build my systems and I got to do all the things. And it is like, no, you just got to charge ahead and you got to be like relentless in your business.
Yeah.
I also determined that I've been trying to do what everybody else is doing. And that's not what God made me to put me here for.
Yep.
So I need to be me in my business because it works. I need
It
to
absolutely works.
have that connectivity with people. I'm not a transactional agent. I'm a relationship agent.
That's
And
right.
I need to really pour into that a lot more, in which I did most of yesterday, and today's gonna be a great day for me. But and also I wrote down be the fire chief for your clients. That story
That's
really
right.
hit with me. That fire chief was prepared for that situation that was just, a little bit outside the box. It wasn't, like normal real estate, like I'm equating it to that. But a real estate, transaction, we're going to do this, do this, do this. But what if this happens? Like be prepared, as Brock always says, like a Boy Scout. And I think that's really important in the connectivity with human beings again. It's, we all love Brian, and he's super cool and taught us a lot of great skills. And I think I'm a pretty good reader of people, but I
Right.
really need to connect with people, do the eye contact, do the interaction, like you do the videos to people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So that's
amazing to see what can happen when you just kind of do put yourself out there, Dee. And you and I have had a lot of conversations, even outside of the show. And you have a great personality. You have so much to share with people. You're warm, you're inviting. But as far as also being prepared, in our business, we have to be able to shift, pivot, and change very, very, very quickly. And that's not always something that's easy to do. So I
yeah,
love the fact that you are trying to be cognizant of, hey, I do need to be more prepared as far as what can happen in a transaction and how I'm handling that, right?
right.
And it is important. We want our clients to feel like we are the authority. And if something goes south, we are going to be prepared to figure it out, whatever that may be.
Right.
That is very, very important. And the connection piece again, I I've been actually beating myself up a lot is because I'm seeing all these people at such a higher level. They've got all these systems down there doing all these things. And I'm like, man, I have nothing. Like I can hardly put my calendar in play, right? But those are things that you can learn, right? You can't always learn to be personable, to have that connection. And so give yourself a little grace there too. Don't be looking at everybody else and that comparison again. Don't be looking at everybody else and what they're doing. Look at what your skill set is, right? Look at what your superpower is. And you may not even think it's a superpower. I never really thought the fact that I can connect with people and talk to people is a superpower, but it is.
It is.
Y'all want to say hi to somebody very special in my life? Come here, buddy. He's about ready to hop on the bus, but this is my boy Justin. Say good morning.
Good morning.
I want you to share what your good news was. This is our mindset motivational call, and I want you to tell them exactly what you told me this morning.
That I've made the All-Star game in every sport I've played. I'm gonna try something new.
That's right. And so he told me that. Come here, thank you so much. Have a great day. Make good choices. Work hard, be kind. Okay. Do something nice for somebody today. Okay. But he said those words to me this morning, and I just said, "Wow, he really has. He pushed himself to the limit in every single sport that he has played, and he stood out in every single team that he's been on, and in every single sport that he plays. Check by the fireplace. Is it on the side?
No.
You might have to get it out of my SUV bid.
Is it unlocked?
It should be.
Bye.
Sorry, y'all. But he's worked his butt off, and to have that mindset, he's 12 years old, and to be able to have that mindset of wanting to still try something new. He could stick with this other sports that he's excelled at, but no, he's still pushing himself to do more. So that was an inspiration to me, and I'm very thankful for that. That boy, he's very special kid. But I appreciate you, Dee. Thank you so much for sharing. But also for each and every one of you guys, I want you to know that just because you're not doing what everybody else is doing, don't put all of that pressure on yourselves to be able to do all those things. Look at what your superpowers are and maybe pick one or two tactical things that you can really start implementing without overwhelming yourself, because then you'll burn out. So, can I get one more person to share?
Good morning.
Hi, Heather. Good morning.
First of all, this was such a great idea Funny thing is I ran to Target right before everything started because I was like, crap, I forgot my morning notebook. And then these appeared in a bag. So wonderful. So tons of notes, but literally for me, I had so many nuggets, but it really came at the end when Brock talked about disgust, decision, desire, and resolve. Um, and just finally just being disgusted enough to be like, I've had it. And I just
Mhm.
kind of laughed at first when he said that because I'm a mother of 5 and a grandma. And I can't tell you how many times in my life I've been like, I've had it. I'm done. This is
Yep.
enough. And I've done it so many times in my life, and then I've done something, right? Like I've thrown something away, or I've organized a room, or I've changed something. And it really just takes you getting to that point to where you're like, that's it, I've had enough. And then in the next one, it talked about the inner civil war. So that was just
Yeah.
for me, just like, I try so hard to just be that person that's like, literally my whole life, I'm just very content where I'm at. Um, but to just kind of give that little thing to myself to be like, are you using that you're content as an excuse to not push yourself to do more and go further
Because
and
it's
change?
comfortable. Yeah.
Right. And
It's
to change
comfortable.
something. So I loved it. And I mean, the whole thing, I was signed up for New Orleans like 20 minutes after he put the QR code on there. So pumped and ready for more. So I just want to also thank every single person that was there and that came to talk to me. And even if it was just a quick, like, hey, this is who I am, and poured into me by just wanting to say hi and know me. So thanks, guys.
Heather, thank you so much for being there. And yes, so important to get out of that comfort zone because that is what grows us. And if we stay in that comfort zone, which is okay, right? It is absolutely okay. There is something to be said about not stretching yourself so thin, but if you don't continue to get a little out of your comfort zone, then you're not going to grow anymore. So I commend you for being cognizant of that and wanting to push yourself to do more. And I can't wait to see what you do. I also want to bring somebody in from the chat, which is Justin. He wrote in the chat, give without expecting a reward. If you can't fulfill the need, guide them individual to where they need to go. And I do think that that is so important, Justin. Thank you for saying that because I think a lot of times that we're looking at about, hey, well, if I'm going to do this, what am I going to get out of it, right? We always take it back to, well, what's it going to do for me? But when you stop always thinking about you and what it's going to do for you and how you can impact somebody else, that goes such a long way, and that is how you truly grow. Doing something out of the kindness of your heart, but not expecting anything back in return, that speaks volumes. And that will, having that mindset, even especially if you're a realtor in that real estate space, some of us have all been in a position to where we may have to come off of our commission and we really don't want to, but hey, you know what? That was the only way to make the deal happen. But if the client sees and feels that you took money off of yourself to be able to help them, how many referrals do you think you're going to get off of that? Right? So it's sometimes not always thinking about what we're going to get out of it, but how we can help somebody else. And I promise you that will come back tenfold. Doing the right thing when nobody else is looking comes back to you tenfold. I've questioned that my whole life because I feel like, God dang it, I feel like I'm trying to do the right thing and it's just not working. Now I feel the fruits of those labors. I'm connecting all of my dots. So it's been a blessing. So Justin, thank you for writing that in the chat this morning. Brock, looks like you are back home and settled. How was Bryce this morning from being gone?
Yes, I'm finally back home. My voice is still not back to where it used to be, and but it sounds worse than how it is. I had to sleep though. I was exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to anybody on here. I was exhausted. Jim, the night that we did the final like closure, which I want to thank everybody. That was probably like the biggest takeaway at the end was when people said, like, a lot of these speakers all they travel the country. And so like when they tell me, they're like, Brock, I've never seen a family come together that every single person at the end, when you asked them to help clean up the room, how everybody did it. Like nobody tried to sneak out. Nobody suddenly, like my kids like to do, oh, Dad, I have to go to the bathroom. Like nobody like disappeared. And everyone came together. He goes, I've never seen anything like that before. And literally, where's Paul? When I told people, I said, it took us about 5.5 hours to put the room together. And Paul was just like, bro, I didn't realize how heavy those tables were. Like, I could see why now it took 5.5 hours for you to put that room together. I was like, we had like we made up dollies to carry things. And so once again, hats off to Jackie and Sherry and Christian and Jim and James, because they all, I mean, Wendy, I mean, we all, you can't do this alone. I can reiterate that. Um, so yes, I'm back home. I actually slept in all. I slept in. I was just like, I'm not putting my alarm on. I am letting my body sleep. So
Same.
Jasmine,
I didn't hit the gym this morning, y'all.
I did not hit the gym. I was just like, I can't. Like, I have to rest. Because Jim thought it'd be a really good idea at that last happy hour. Yo, man, we didn't do our podcast. I was like, Jim, I leave tomorrow. Like, I have to pick up my son at 3:15 from school. Like it's a 6.5 hour trip. I was just like, and we looked at each other. I said, the only time I can do it is gonna be at 5:30 in the morning. Thinking that they'd be like, yeah, you're right. Let's just catch up another time. The guy Chase, who has the podcast room, and Jim both kind of like looked at each other, and Chase is like, well, I'm not a morning person. I'll just sleep there so that way I don't miss you. And Jim goes, well, shit, I got to do it then. If you two said it, I'm like, oh my God, my plan is backfilling on me. Like I thought you guys would say no. So at 5:30 in the morning, I'm doing a podcast, but we were talking about at the podcast, pushing yourselves. And what I love seeing everybody, I wrote down 5 groups that I had when I was there. I had the speakers, I had the sponsors, I had the attendants, I had my team, and I had myself. And I looked at each one of them. And I would challenge you, for those that are there, or challenge yourselves that are in whatever you do, like who's on your team, who's around you, and then look to see what they're doing around you. Because when I looked at it, I was like, the speakers are showing, like they're in the green room, they're practicing, they're making sure that they're articulating, their PowerPoints are right. They're making sure that they have everything they possibly need, because they want to perform for you at the highest level. And I was like, wow, that's really cool to see them really invest time, energy in taking away from their family. The next, I went through the sponsors, making sure they had some Brock. I'm trying to give a giveaway. You told me to have a giveaway. I want to make sure that I have this. Brock, what can I do for them on this? I want to be able to do, they wanted to pour in. Then I looked at the attendance, and it went back to the last day when so many of you stuck around. You waited till the fourth quarter, as I shared, and you helped out. I was looking at the last little optional happy hour we had, so don't think you missed anything all, but like whoever was left, we did another mini happy hour. And I was just like, damn, this is a lot more people than I was expecting to be at the happy hour. They put us outside, they heated a tent, and we had like 5 tables of people to being able to go and do that. And everybody was still helping and pouring and talking and engaging. And so many of you, I'm so thankful for the beautiful text messages many of you sent me privately on how it changed your life. Like that's the medicine that gets me up in the morning, that makes my throat be like, you got to keep talking today, Brock. You got to keep pouring into it. Like we have a team meeting today about New Orleans, which they're probably not going to be very excited about. And we're going to have a meeting on that. And then last but not least, well, the last 2 is my team, Sherry and Jackie, Christian and James and Jim. Like these guys didn't stop. I mean, they're constantly, do you need anything? Is there anything else we need to check on? I did this. I double checked this. I got this. I crossed this, checked this. I talked to this person over here. This person's going to be here. Do you need any cough drops? Do you need any Advil? Do you need any tea? Do you need any honey? Like, just really, I can't thank that team enough for really just being cognitive and making me a top priority. And I say that very humbling. Like it meant a lot to me because there's so many different moving parts. And last but not least, myself. I grade myself. I look at myself and I ask myself, did I show up? Did I do everything I possibly can? And well, there's several things, but one of the things that pisses me off that I forgot to ask was we never got a group picture of everybody at the event.
I thought about that too. I was like, oh crap, we should have done a group photo. I know.
So we did a mini one at the first happy hour and on the bus. So yeah, that was one of the things that, you drive back. I call it windshield time. I had a lot of windshield time because Wendy, let's just say she was making sure her eyelids were okay and she was doing a pillow inspection. So like I had a lot of windshield time. And I looked over while she was snoring and she'd be like, I can't even do my high pitched voice. I can't believe you said I snore. I was just like, well, it was very, I tried to wake you up to see if you wanted to drive, but I couldn't, have the conversation with your snoring. So, but we were laughing. We just, we reflected and, so the group picture was something I wrote in my notes, but I'm just very thankful. Thankful for you all. It's crazy to think like I'm literally going back to Nashville in 4 days. So I go speak at the Bridgestone Arena. Gary and his team, love them. They invited me to speak at their awards banquet.
It's
So
amazing.
they're flying me up Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon. And then I come back. I was like, I gotta get my kids. My kids on Wednesdays really throwing me off in the middle of my week. But yeah, so that was very nice of them. I'm very, very excited about that opportunity. They got 175 people on their team. They're the number
Wow.
one Remax company in the country. And to be able to have an opportunity for to speak, and I'll close with this. As I say that, you have an opportunity, all of you. Really just stop what you're doing and lean into this all. I did not want at some points in my life to do Nashville. I was very frustrated. I wanted to quit. And I knew there was a bigger vision. And as we were driving back last night, and I was telling Wendy, I said, God really has a very interesting sense of humor with me. And Jim Rohn said a story that transformed his life. Mr. Shope was asking him like how many places he's been speaking at and how much money he's making. And he says, I barely make anything. I make enough just to cover my costs. And I truly am right around the same exact thing. So like if you all think that I make a shit ton of money when I do these events, I don't. And
It's enough to cover the event, and I will say that the same. The events that I've thrown to, you're not making money doing this.
There's not a huge profit at all being made. But I do it because I truly love pouring into people.
Exactly.
And Jim Rohn said that to Mr. Shope. He says, why do you do it? And I kind of already shared that with you all. And then he goes, you just never know who's in the room. And so the guy that at one point he was speaking, there was a corporate 500 company worth multi-million dollars. And they said, Jim, we like your stuff and we like you to come speak at our corporation. That was the moment that transformed his life to be able to go and speak and become the millionaire that he was. And as I was sharing to Wendy, I said, you know what? I didn't want to do it. And I had a Mr. Shope, Jim Rohn moment. And for those that heard the story about Gary Ashton and how I got him and to come to the panel, who would have thought that Gary Ashton, that does $1.2 billion and the number one Remax in the country, is asking me to come to his corporation and his team to speak. And maybe that's my Jim Rohn that I have that could transform where I go. So you just never know all. That's why you show up. That's why you continue, because I didn't have Gary Ashton that was my goal vision at the end. It starts off with helping people, and then God takes care of the rest. So that's what I have for you, Justine. I'll let you close this out. I gotta drop off back to dad duty. Gotta drop off Brielle at school. God bless you all. Guys, join us. Tell people about us. Come to New Orleans. It is still a refundable ticket because I don't have the dates yet. I don't have the location, so I will keep it refundable until I can get that. So join it. You get the discount right now for $197, and I'm only taking 70 people. I'm not doing what I did last time. So there it is. Justine, I'll let you close this out.
All right, guys, y'all heard it from Brock himself. Refundable ticket, $197. Those of y'all that were there, y'all know how impactful these events are. And to Brock's point, it's not about making money off of these. I can 100% tell you it's a lot of work with no financial return, but the return is the feeling that we have in our hearts to pour into other people. And that is worth it every single time. For one, it is so much work, Brock. I feel you there. It's so much work, but the feeling that we get after doing events like these and pouring into other people, that is something that's worth everything. So y'all be there. Don't overthink it. You're going to make it happen. If you want to level up, if you want to learn from people that have just exploded in their businesses and even just the motivational piece, plan to be there, make it happen for you, for your family, for your future, guys. I've taken away so much from that event. And Brock, I can't say thank you enough for pouring into each and every one of us. And I know it's a lot of work, and I'm so thankful that you are not giving up. So y'all get your tickets. I would love to see you there. I will absolutely be there and making this happen and making new memories in New Orleans. So I hope to see y'all there. Y'all have an amazing Thursday. And if y'all need anything, reach out. Talk to y'all soon.